You should note that you can model these in different groups as well, but because we're working under one set, we've done them together. So I'll select this, and then using move, I'll bring it right down here. Alright, then click on finish, and then I'll go here and use the extrusion tool, and then I'll set it on the reference plane of the structural level 2. Alright, and then draw from this point and type in 1.282. Alright, and then we go up here and draw for 1.271 and connect these two up, and then put the offset on 0.25, and then close the shape like this. Alright, then here put the offset on 0 and close out the opening here, and then select trim and click on here, and then trim these two as well, and then this part as well. Alright, I'll select this, and then I'm going to use measure to see if this actually is 25 centimeters. Alright, select the measure, and then go here, and yes, it's 0.244. So I'll select this sketch right here, then here put in 0.25. Alright, go back and delete this line, and there we go. So I'll select all of the shape here, and then use copy and paste it up here. Alright, now select copy again, but this time check the multiple box as well. Let me just finish this up for a moment. Alright, click on finish again, cancel, then I'll activate this area and bring it up to this point. Alright, then I'll go back to the plan, then I'll select this, and then I'll connect it to this surface. Alright, then I'll select the cut line over here, then I'll bring its depth up to here, and then double click on it, and it's right here. Alright, select this and edit. Alright, and then I'll edit this top one here, copy, and then check the multiple box, then paste from here, that goes to here, and then up here, then here as well, and just repeat this process for the rest of it. That's why I said using this method is much easier. Here I'll finish this up, and then for this side as well, I'll click on edit and then select the copy tool. So this is our main beam. Select the upper point of the beam because the height may be different in different levels, and then go up here and click on this part, then paste it here as well. First, we'll need to edit this part. This part needs to be moved above the beams. If you actually take a look at it, this is the part that we'll need to adjust. I'll select this and use the move tool. Then we'll need to change the length of this part as well. For now, we'll just go with 1.25 as an example. Alright, and then connect it down to this part here. Alright, and then put the offset on 0.25. There we go. And then use trim to complete these parts. Let me just delete this part because we'll have to adjust it later as well. So if you fix one of them, the rest are going to be done as well, because the height of these two levels was in order. And we'll need to fix this lower part as well. So I'll complete the rest of the stairs as such. Try to do them yourself too, and then we'll get to the placing of the rebars. Although now that I think about it, I can explain about rebars a bit, and then we'll do the stairs together. So I'll select these two and then give the material from this part, which I'll name concrete. I should also state another point, which is about the gap that we have here between the stairs of the different levels. If I go here and select these two and then isolate them, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This space, this gap that we have here in the middle. You have to do this part separately and go here and select extrusion, and then you'll set them on the horizontal case of either level. And your base is going to be from here to here. So we'll finish this up, and then using a line, we'll connect these two. Do this for all the levels, and if you join them up, you can see the lines go away. And it makes a united staircase part. So now the rebars are going to be separate for this part and this part as well. I'll just finish this up for now and then go to the cut. Then we have a dowel bar here that goes right here. So go to the structure tab and select the rebar tool and then the sketch rebar, and I'll click on this part. Alright, so then we'll have the rebar type 14. Select it from the list here, and then we'll go to the plan and draw from this point down into the foundation. Cancel. Alright, then change direction of the rotation hook, and then here is going to be our dowel bar. We'll just put the length on 0.6 for now. Alright, let me just select this and move it a bit higher because we'll have to put this on the main rebar, and we'll place it here so they connect perfectly. Afterwards, we can adjust it as well. So the rotation hook is fine, and if you actually take a look at the 3D, it's right here. So finish this up, cancel, and then from the sophistic reinforcement parts, select the visibility menu and OK here as well. Then I'll select this. Let's see, rotate it to the top view. Here, let me just move the cut line to the inside parts. There we go. And in order to see the stairs better, I'll select it. And from this part, I'll select the override option. And then I'll put the transparency on 50%. And now we can see the inside of the stair as well. So I'll select it and put the layout on, for example, maximum spacing for now. And it's going to be 4.2 meters. There we go. Let's go back to the plan. And then here we have the cut line for the stairs. Select it. And then we'll move it for about the cover that we have in mind, which is going to be, for example, 5 centimeters. There we go. And then the modeling of the rebar starts from here. So this was our phase 1. Now we get to the rest of the rebars, and in order to do so, we'll go here again to the structure tab and select the rebar again, sketch rebar, and then we'll put it on this surface and start from this point to this point. After that, we go up here and then put in 0.5 meter for this part. Alright, put the hook at start on none for now. There we go, and then we go back to the 3D view. Here we've selected the type 14 rebar, so I'll finish this up. Cancel. Put the layout on maximum spacing and on 0.2. Whatever number that gives us. Alright, then go to the sophistic tab, select the visibility and OK. I should note this again, if you don't have the sophistic tool, you can select the rebar, and then from this section in the 3D view, put the view on solid, and then this one on fine to see it. So let's go back to the cuts, and then we'll have to do the same thing for the upper section as well. I'll select the rebar tool again, then click on sketch rebar, and then click on this surface. And then we go from here to here, and then all the way up to this part. And for example, give it 0.5 meter. You'll have to do this based on the shop. We'll just do this on estimates for now. So finish this up, then cancel here. I'll select this and put this on maximum spacing as well, and then 0.2, and this is what it looks like. Then I'll put the visibility on Alright, it's okay. So now the rebars that go in the length direction of this, here I'll go to the structure tab and then select the rebar tool, and then we'll go here to the rebars and select this one right here, type 14, and then we have it up here and then here as well. So click right here, there we go. Then go to the 3D view. Alright, here it is. So now let's go back to the plan. Here we'll move the cut line to the right direction a bit, and right click and go to view. Now it's been fixed, so fine. Then we'll select this and move it behind this part. Alright, then put the layout on fixed number. 3 is okay for now. So select the create similar option and click here and just move it upwards a bit. Be sure to check the constraint placement option, otherwise it won't connect to the surface like this. This way you can move it and it sticks right to the place that you want it to. Here I'll put the layout on maximum spacing again, and it's going to be each 20 centimeters. Alright, then we'll select them and move them up a bit because this part does conflict. Alright, and then from this part we'll move this down a bit right to this point. We'll just repeat this for the underside of this as well. Here visibility is fine, so click on OK, and there it is. So just like this order, we'll go through with the rest of the pay and the beam and the column and do the placement of the rebars as well. The placing process is no different than this. You just have to go according to the AutoCAD file and then cut up the different places of the plan and put the beams, no matter if it's in the columns, in the pay, or whatever. Doesn't make any difference. So before you do this in the rest of the plan, I'll give you some explanations using the Sophistic tool and the modeling in that part. For example, the splice tool, which can help us a lot when we're doing the rebars in the pay. And then we'll do the rest of the rebars